Hello, and welcome back to my channel, English with Darlianah, your place to listen, practice, shadow, and improve your English at a comfortable, steady pace. I'm Darlianah, and I'm thrilled you're here. In this episode, I speak clearly. I use simple everyday words, and I repeat key phrases so you can shadow and clearly hear my voice, develop your speaking skills, and grow your confidence gradually. Today, we will explore how to talk about your hobbies in English. Not just basic words, but complete thoughts. What do you enjoy doing? When do you practice your hobbies? How do they make you feel? By the end of this episode, you will be able to discuss your hobbies in English using natural and flowing sentences. Let's start. Why is it helpful to practice talking about your hobbies in English? It's helpful because your hobbies are personal. They're activities you choose to do. You understand them deeply. You don't need to memorize complex vocabulary. You don't need to discuss difficult topics like economics or technology. You simply need to share what you love. You can explain what sports you play, what books you read. You can describe if you paint or cook. You can express how you feel. Excited, peaceful, creative, or energized. And here's what matters most. When you talk about your hobbies, you're using practical English, meaningful English, English that connects you with other people naturally. You don't need to sound perfect. You simply need to communicate. When you discuss your hobbies, you start to process thoughts in English. You start to express yourself more smoothly. You create simple, meaningful sentences. You stop thinking in your native language, and you gain more confidence while speaking. Let's consider an example. Imagine you're at a social event. Someone asks, "What do you like to do for fun?" What do you like to do for fun? If you've practiced discussing your hobbies already, you can respond. You can say, "I love reading books. I play guitar on weekends. I enjoy cooking new recipes. On Sundays, I go hiking and take photos." Now that's a genuine conversation. That's authentic communication. And that is your objective. Even if you're practicing alone, even if you're not in a classroom, even if you feel nervous, you can still improve your English by discussing your hobbies. So whenever you need speaking practice, begin with something familiar. What do I enjoy doing? When do I do it? Where do I practice? Who do I do it with? These are helpful questions. They activate your vocabulary. They create solid English patterns. They encourage you to form complete thoughts naturally. You can do this while commuting to describe your interests. You can do this before bed to reflect on activities. You can even write notes and read them aloud. The secret is to stay simple. Use the English you have. Don't stress about errors. Just express yourself. And the more you practice, the smoother it gets. One hobby today, 2 hobbies tomorrow, a detailed story soon. So today, let's develop that ability together, gradually, carefully, one authentic sentence at a time.
Let's begin with indoor hobbies, activities at home. Indoor hobbies are wonderful for practice. They're familiar, they're comfortable, and they're ideal for English conversation, even for brief moments. Now, let's practice some basic hobby sentences together. Repeat each one carefully, just like shadowing. Let's begin. I really enjoy reading books in my free time. Now you repeat. Sometimes I read fiction novels about adventure and mystery. Now you repeat. When I read regularly, I learn new words naturally. Now you repeat. I sit in my favorite chair with good lighting. Now you repeat. I like to hold the book and turn real pages. Now you repeat. Then I read slowly and imagine the story. Now you repeat. I go to my bookshelf and choose something interesting. Now you repeat. I read carefully and underline new vocabulary. Now you repeat. Then I look up words I don't understand. Now you repeat. It helps me learn faster. Now you repeat. Sometimes I read articles online, especially about topics I enjoy. Now you repeat. When I read, I like to have quiet background music or complete silence. Now you repeat. After reading, I think about the story and write notes. Now you repeat. I try to summarize what I learned in English. Now you repeat. Sometimes I write my thoughts in a journal. Now you repeat. If I have questions, I research more information online. Now you repeat. Next, I practice my guitar in the living room. Now you repeat. I usually play simple songs that I know well. Now you repeat. Sometimes I learn new chords from video tutorials. Now you repeat. If I have extra time, I practice scales or write music. Now you repeat. I like to play slowly so I can hear each note. Now you repeat. I play piano most evenings. Now you repeat. Sometimes I play classical pieces because they sound beautiful and calm. Now you repeat. While playing, I sometimes sing quietly or just focus on the melody. Now you repeat. Other days, I experiment with creating my own songs. Now you repeat. Before I stop practicing, I review what I learned. Now you repeat. I write down new techniques or challenging parts. Now you repeat. I note which songs I want to learn next. Now you repeat. I organize my sheet music and put away my instrument. Now you repeat. Then I clean up my practice space. Now you repeat. Okay, let's shadow a story. My creative hobbies. In this part, I will share a brief story about my hobbies. You can listen, then shadow each sentence. You can pause after each line to repeat it carefully. Are you ready? Let's start. In the evening, I usually spend time on my hobbies around 7. Sometimes I start earlier if I finish work quickly. I sit in my living room and decide what to do. I look at my options, smile a bit, and choose an activity. Then I walk to my bookshelf and select a novel I've been reading. After that, I make myself comfortable in my reading chair. It really helps me relax and focus. If I feel creative, I pick up my guitar. I often play songs that match my mood. It helps me feel more connected and peaceful. After playing music, I put my guitar back carefully and tidy the room. Next, I go to my desk and open my sketchbook. I usually draw simple things like flowers or landscapes, and sometimes I sketch people's faces. I use a regular pencil. That's my favorite tool for drawing. In the evening, while drawing, I sit near the lamp and concentrate. Sometimes I make mistakes, but I keep trying and enjoy the process. Before I finish for the night, I look at my work. I think about my progress, my improvements, and what to practice tomorrow. Then I organize my supplies. I make sure everything is ready. My pencils, my eraser, my sketchbook, and sometimes reference photos. Finally, I put away my materials, turn off the light, and feel satisfied with my creative time. Okay, let's practice a few more sentences together. Again, you can repeat right after me. Every hobby session is slightly different, but I try to stay consistent. When I practice hobbies in English, I feel more connected. I'm happy with my efforts, and I will continue learning.
Now, let's explore outdoor hobbies, activities outside. Many people love outdoor hobbies. Some people play sports. Some go hiking. Some enjoy gardening or photography. Whatever you prefer, outdoor hobbies are great for English practice.
Even if you're active, you can still think in English. You can still describe. You can still practice even for just a few moments. Let's learn some useful sentences together. Try to repeat after me clearly and naturally. After breakfast, I go outside for a walk. Sometimes I feel more energetic when I move. I check the weather and dress appropriately first. I often see neighbors or friends during my walks. I usually go hiking once or twice each week. Sometimes I hike with a group or my family to explore trails. If I exercise alone, I bring my headphones and listen to podcasts. I track my distance using a fitness app. I also note interesting places I want to visit again. I like to keep my backpack light and organized. It helps me move comfortably. I usually take a water break around halfway. I drink slowly and enjoy the scenery. Sometimes I take photos of the landscape. If I have spare time, I use it to practice photography. I usually look for interesting subjects like flowers or birds. Sometimes I photograph people exercising or playing. I wait for good lighting and take multiple shots. This is practice. It helps me improve my skills and see beauty everywhere. Before I go home, I stretch for a few minutes. I also make mental notes about what I saw today. For example, I found a new trail today, and I feel adventurous. I didn't bring my camera today, but I will remember next time. This helps me plan and stay excited. Okay, now it's your chance. You can pause this episode briefly. Try to describe your outdoor hobbies just like I did. What do you usually do outside? Do you play sports? Do you go running? Do you garden or take photographs? Use simple sentences. It's fine if it's just 3 or 4 thoughts. The goal is to communicate, not to sound perfect. Okay, let's practice some sentence starters together to help you speak. I will begin the sentences and you try to finish them. Ready? On weekends, I usually go to... Very nice. After lunch, I enjoy... Good work. Sometimes I feel... Excellent. I usually take photos of... Wonderful. Before going home, I... Excellent work. Your hobbies at night. Nighttime is perfect for quiet hobbies, a time to create and unwind. Let's repeat some helpful sentences. I practice my hobbies at 8 in the evening. I set up my space and gather what I need to begin. I sometimes play soft music or enjoy the quiet to focus. I paint watercolors or I sketch if I feel inspired. I work at my table with good lighting. We share our creations and give feedback. After creating, I clean my brushes and organize supplies. Sometimes I write in my journal before sleeping. Before bed, I plan tomorrow's practice or set goals. I put away my materials and prepare for rest. I usually finish hobbies around 10 or 10:30. Okay, you have just heard about various hobbies. Now, I want you to describe your hobbies. Here's how you can practice. First, think about your interests. What hobbies do you enjoy? When do you practice them? Do you prefer indoor or outdoor activities? What do you do in the morning? How do you spend your free time? What do you create or practice? You can describe current hobbies, or you can discuss hobbies you want to try. Wonderful work today. You discovered various hobby vocabulary. You practiced new expressions. You repeated complete sentences. And most importantly, you spoke about your interests in English. This is genuine progress. You're not just learning English, you are expressing yourself in English. You are sharing your passions one sentence at a time. Keep growing your confidence. Keep discussing your hobbies until it feels natural. Now, return to this episode regularly. Listen again, shadow again, and each time share more about your interests. This is English with Darlianah. I'm Darlianah, and I'm impressed by your dedication. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep trusting in yourself. See you next time. Peace.